It's race week, and you know what that means, guys? It's time to preview the United States Grand Prix with the 5 drivers that you should be looking out for this weekend. So it's been a 4-week gap between the Singapore Grand Prix and the USGP, but we're all ready and getting ready to get started this weekend around the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. But which 5 drivers am I going to be keeping a special eye on this weekend? Well, first up, who else is it going to be other than Liam Lawson? Liam Lawson is going to be competing in his first Grand Prix for almost a year. He has replaced Daniel Ricciardo at the RB team, and it is very much rumoured that there's pretty much a straight shootout between Tsunoda and Lawson for who could potentially replace Checo Perez in the near future at the senior Red Bull team. Like I said, Lawson hasn't competed in Formula 1 in quite some time. If you imagine it's going to take him some time to get up to speed, he'll of course been preparing for this for a long time. He'll have been in the car as much as possible, and also on top of that in the simulator as much as possible too. But nothing is quite the same as actually being out there in the heat of the moment competing in a Grand Prix, and I'm excited to see how he does. I think points would be an unbelievable achievement if he manages to do it. But his main goal will be to try and beat Yuki Tsunoda, which will be no mean feat given the Japanese driver's performances so far this season. Next up, let's highlight Max Verstappen. Verstappen is an interesting one coming into this. He has won the last 3 United States Grand Prix in a row, and in fact with that is one of the most successful Formula 1 drivers in the United States of all time. Go check out our full list for that if you haven't already. Verstappen is an interesting place for sure. Like I said, he's top of the championship by some margin, still ahead of Lando Norris, finished well behind Lando Norris last time out in Singapore, but still managed to get 2nd place, which is a very good achievement indeed. How is he going to fare around? Because that car looks better, to be honest. In all honesty, it does look better now. But is it good enough to win a race? Perhaps, but I feel like it's going to take an absolutely monumental effort, and even if, let's just say, he qualifies in 2nd place and gets ahead of Lando Norris or Oscar Piastri at the start, it's still going to be a big task to keep the McLarens behind given their pace, and given that you've got a long back straight, down the back straight, along DRS zone to overtake. So I feel like if he gets onto the podium, it's going to be a good result, but have Red Bull brought upgrades that are going to help that car? They're going to make that car even faster, the RB20. We'll have to wait and see. But I gave him a few mentions there. Lando Norris is the 3rd driver that I'm going to be looking out for this weekend, and the reason for this, of course, is that he's chasing down Max Verstappen. Norris is now in a position where if he's to win the Drivers' World Championship this season, realistically he's got to win the lion's share of these remaining races, and even if he wins every race and finishes in Verstappen finishes in 2nd place in all of them, including the sprint races, Verstappen still takes the title. This is a sprint race weekend though, so there is a chance that Lando Norris could double down on a double victory effectively on Saturday and then on Sunday as well. So how's he going to do in the US? We'll have to see. His first ever Formula 1 victory came in the US earlier this season, of course, at Miami, so could be a good sign. We'll see what happens. Next up, I'm going to mention Charles Leclerc. Now, I'm mentioning Charles Leclerc because, of course, he had a very good result here last season, but was one of the 2 drivers disqualified for his skid blocks on his car wearing down too much. There have been changes made to the Circuit of the Americas since then. It's been resurfaced, and a few of the curves have been reprofiled. The bumps have been eliminated effectively, and that was apparently the reason why both him and Sir Lewis Hamilton, more on him very soon, but why him and Hamilton were disqualified. So I'm backing Charles for a good weekend this weekend. Had they not qualified so poorly around Singapore, I feel like they would have been much closer to the podium, Leclerc and Sainz. And Leclerc is going for that 3rd place in the Drivers' Championship. He's in a very big battle at the moment, a very close battle between himself and Oscar Piastri for that. So he'll need a good result this weekend. Will he get it? Who knows? Maybe he'll even get pole position. He's made a habit of that over the years, hasn't he? And the final driver I'm going to mention in this one, I'm going to look out for, is Sir Lewis Hamilton, the most successful driver in the history of the Circuit of the Americas. 6 victories around the United States Grand Prix over the years, 5 of those coming at COTA. How's he going to fare this weekend? Well, he's not looking too great. I mean, the results have been not too terrible, but the overall pace of the car, it feels like they're cut adrift of Red Bull, McLaren, and also Ferrari as well. It seems like they're in a firm 4th place. If they're to come out the traps very well in this final stretch of the season, though, it could be the case that Mercedes are able to at least challenge the likes of Ferrari above them. But they're going to need a good result around this track this weekend, and if anybody's going to do it for them, it's going to be Sir Lewis. But how's he going to get on? I think a podium is a massive ask. A top 5 finish is more realistic, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. But yeah, who are you looking forward to seeing this weekend in the United States Grand Prix? Guys, let us know in the comments below. Who's getting the victories? Who's winning the sprint? Who's winning the actual Grand Prix race? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, like, share, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell as well. Have a good one, guys. We'll see you very soon.